Today I am showing you how easy it is to etch glass. Just imagine the things that you can personalize, the gifts that you can make. Oh, once you start etching glass, you are never going to stop. I want to say a big thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. The supplies that you need to etch glass. You need the glass object, a vinyl stencil, armor etch, a paintbrush or a popsicle stick, whichever one you want, and some safety gear. Because it is an acid, you want to make sure that you're safe, so some rubber gloves and some protection for your eyes. Here I have a 9x13 baking dish, and I want to etch the bottom of it so that you can see the etching once the food is out of it, or even before. So great for like parties and things like that. Now, to start off with, I did measure it, and I have about a 10x5 area to work with. So I'm choosing a shape, I'm choosing a square, I'm unlocking it, I'm going up to the top, and I'm resizing my square to be a 10x5. And this will give me a guide as I'm designing so that I will stay within the parameters that I need. So now I'm going into image and I'm typing in cooking utensils. I thought this would be a fun one to work with. And I select this really cute one right here. I thought this was super fun. I love this one. So I select that and I'm resizing it so that it will fit within my parameters that I wanted. But there's this blank space here that I still have that I can work with. Well, I want to personalize this. So my name is Jennifer, so I'm going to go with that. So I type in Jennifer, and now I need to resize that. I'm happy with the font that's here, so I'm going to leave that. Once I have that all selected, at the top, I can align these two together. So I do need to do that to make sure that Jennifer is placed where I want it. Once I have that done, I select, I do need to hit attached at the bottom right, and then I can hit make it. Super simple, right? Now, here's the part you want to pay attention to. You do want to drag this over just a little bit on your mat to make sure that you have a border when it cuts out. You want that extra border because you're working with an acid, and if it gets on another area of your glass, it will also etch that, and you don't want that to happen. So go ahead and drag that to give yourself, at least about an inch around. I'm giving myself a really huge border. You don't need quite this much. Now, the next really important thing to remember is because this is going on the bottom and we want to see it the correct way, you need to hit mirror. So you go to your left-hand side, you select the mirror, make sure you do this, and now you're ready to actually cut this. So go ahead and place your mat on the Cricut and let it cut. Once it's done cutting, you're gonna do what I call like a reverse weed because you're creating a stencil. So you wanna make sure that you're really careful in weeding out the parts that you would normally want to see in the final thing. Like, think about that. So weed out the parts you don't need, and once you have it weeded, go ahead and place your transfer tape on top. It doesn't necessarily have to fit over the entire thing, but you do wanna make sure it's fitting over the part that you will be etching. You do wanna make sure that's covered, but if it doesn't go to the entire extra border, that's fine. Place it onto your glass dish. Now, once it's on the glass dish, you don't want any bubbles around the area that you're etching, but if you happen to have bubbles in the vinyl further out, that's fine, that's no biggie. You just really wanna make sure that you have good adhesion on the parts that are close to the glass. Put on all your safety gear before you get out your etching product. Once you have on your gloves and your goggles, then you can go in with your paintbrush or your popsicle stick and start applying your armor etch. So just go ahead and start brushing that on. You can put it on. You wanna make sure you cover the entire etching area. And then you can just kind of brush it around and move it around. And if you're really quiet, you'll hear it. You can hear it working and affecting. It almost sounds like sand rubbing on like something. It's like a real, kind of gets like a scratchy sound to it. Listen. It's so cool. It's absolutely cool to see that happen. And you want to leave this on from like a minute to 5 minutes. I tend to lean towards the 5 minute for precaution, but the instructions do say 1 minute. After your time is up, go ahead and take it over to your sink, rinse it off, and then peel off your vinyl. Some of it might be a little harder to get off, but it's not gonna damage anything. Just go ahead and get your little pokey tool and get off all your extra vinyl, and this is good to go. It is oven safe, dishwasher safe. It's not going anywhere and it is fantastic. I love doing this. Even on a baking dish, you don't have to always put the etching on the bottom. Here I have a bread pan and I wanted to put it on the side of it instead. So I went into Design Space, and again, the area that I have to work with is like 5 by 2. So I selected a square, I resized that, and then I went into Images and I typed in banners. And I scrolled through until I found a banner that I wanted and selected that, and then sized it within my parameters. Once I had my banner, then I went into text and I typed in "made with love." I wanted to keep it a little bit more generic. Now at the very top, you can curve your text. So I went ahead and I curved that so it would fit the banner, and then I sized it to make sure that it would fit within the banner as well. For a little added decor with this, I went back into Images and I typed in bowl, and I found a bowl that worked as a serving bowl. I thought that would be really cute, and I sized that to fit under the banner. And then I got a heart and I sized that tiny little heart to fit inside the bowl. So I got the bowl and the heart and selected those, and then went to the bottom right and hit slice. Now you have a few extra pieces that you can get rid of because I only wanted the bowl with the sliced heart remaining. I did the same thing with the banner and the "made with love." I selected those and went to the bottom and hit slice. Then I could put the banner and the bowl and arrange those. I went to the top where it says align and made sure I aligned those so that the bowl was right in the center of that banner. And then I went to that bottom right, hit attached so that everything would stay together once it was time for me to cut it. Because if I don't hit attach and you go to make it, then the bowl will like go to the side. It won't stay exactly where you want it. And I wanted to make sure it stayed right where I wanted it. I hope that makes sense. So once everything was like that, it's time to hit make it. Once I'm on my mat, I then drag it so I have a little bit of that extra vinyl around it when it's time to cut it. This time I'm not hitting mirror because I'm not placing this on the bottom of my baking dish. I can just go ahead and cut it like I normally would. Once it's finished cutting, then it's time for me again to do the reverse weed. So I weed the entire thing, and then I place my transfer tape on top, and then I place this onto my baking dish, and then I can peel my transfer tape off. And then it's time for me to start applying the armored etch again. So I just place it on there and I just start brushing it around for that 1 to 5 minutes, again erring on that 5-minute mark just for precaution. When I hit that 5-minute mark, I rinse that off in the sink and reveal a beautiful design. I, again, love this. What a great gift this would make with especially a fresh baked loaf of bread in it as well. I absolutely love it. Another fun project that I did was to add some fern leaves to this glass bowl, because I can use this glass bowl whether it's for baking, decor, a serving dish, it can be for whatever, and the fern leaves just kind of give it a little bit more pizzazz than your plain old basic glass dish. Now I am thinking about taking the fern leaves like all the way around it. I thought that would be really fun. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But all the things you can do with etching, it's just so much fun, and the only limit really is our imaginations. I just absolutely love it. Anyway, if you're looking for some more Cricut videos and tips and ideas, make sure you check out these videos. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.